I'll show you how to use the exterior's feature advanced. So first, we're going to add an exterior to our project. So here we are going to take a terrace, and let's position it right here. We're going to change the flooring by simply clicking on the surface, edit, and selecting a new coating. By clicking on the surface, a new tab appears, which lets you add an elevation. When you click on this tab, you will get several designs around your floor covering. First of all, on each side, you will have a drawing, which simply lets you add a slope on your surface and either side or the side you want. The second pictogram here in the center is the cube. You can simply add a thickness to your surface. Be careful when using this feature because, of course, being on the first floor 0, you'll have a problem with the windows. That's why you have a third feature, which allows you to simply move your garment either on the floor below or on the floor above. So when you add thickness, you can move this thickness to the floor below or raise it. Here we'll move it to the floor below, which gives us thickness. You will see that this thickness will enable us to simply dig into our soil, in particular to create swimming pools. You can then use that I announced at the very beginning, is the feature where you add a slope. We will keep our floor thickness at level 0. We'll be adding a second exterior, and here it's going to be grass. We add it right here, changing our thickness, our siding, and add a terrace on our grass. So we add an exterior in the same way, which we can resize if we wish, and the position where you want. We'll simply change the coating, and here if I create an elevation, if I add an elevation, we have in the same way the same drawings, and I'll be able to use the small cube to create a tiny upper level that will allow me to have a terrace slightly raised, as shown here. I'll be able to extend it a little if I wish, which will allow me to create a small raised terrace with deck chairs, for example. You can also create swimming pools, but to create pools, you'll need a thick base already in place. Given that when we add an exterior, our floor is totally flat, it will be necessary and I'll start by showing you how to create a thickness on our floor. By clicking on our floor, by first adding an elevation, and then using these designs to initially raise our floor and adjust the height by descending to level 0. This manipulation simply gives you a thickness that will allow you to dig into the ground to add a swimming pool. If you want to add a swimming pool, you can use one of our existing sites. Take this pool, for example. It can't be lowered since it's an above-ground pool, but we're going to use that to be able to create space to add our indoor pool. So for this, we'll once again add an exterior at the exact would like to have our pool. We'll use exactly the same dimensions. We're going to move our swimming pool to see how large this surface is. We'll be cutting back slightly. We switch to 3D. Click on your surface. You add an elevation. You lower the flat surface. Will allow you to dig all simply in the ground. You can dig into the ground because you've added thickness to the surface. Grass. There you can dig into your soil. You can switch back to 2D and drag the pool you have added to your project. Adjust the height slightly and you're done. All you have to do is set up your project as you wish. We'll be adding a few small deck chairs. Here they are. I'll show you the slope. We'll add a small slope right here. So here we have our grass level, which is right here. We'll add another exterior. 20 square meters. We'll create it. We'll add it right there. Resize, change texture, and now you can see that our grass is well level 0. It was the existing grass, and now I've added grass. I click here. You can see that my coating is fine flat. I click on my surface and add an elevation. When I add an elevation, I simply have the pictograms on my surface. And here I want to create a slope. I simply to add an elevation right here normally and bring my the more thickness you add to your surface. Well, of course, the more you can lower your element and the more slope you can add. I add surface. I lower my surface to keep it at the same level than my grass, which was already positioned here, and create my slope. The idea is simply to add exteriors, activate Elevation Edition, and have fun with the different levels and slopes. It's up to you.